All right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm very excited because I got my homie here, Vlad, who I'm going to introduce in a second, and we have his car that he just picked up. His car, as you can tell by the thumbnail, is a 2016 Range Rover HSE. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about 5 reasons why you need to boss up and upgrade to a Range Rover ASAP. My boy Vlad is gonna talk a little bit about the details of the car, and we can just go for a ride after that.
Yeah, how you guys doing, man? I just picked this up. This is the V8 5-liter supercharged version. 510 horsepower, 461 foot-pounds of torque, curb weight of 5150. So it gets up there, but you know, it also has the luxury features that we're going to talk about. And I love this thing so far. It's been about 2 weeks of owning it.
Nice.
No issues so far. Nothing but positives.
All right, man. Since we're already outside, it's a good point here right now to just talk about the first is the exterior and styling. I mean, come on, guys. We got to say that. So, Vlad, man, it's your car. Talk about it, man.
I personally fell in love with the optics of it. You look at the headlights, you know, and the taillights are obviously gorgeous. The grille. I like that they went with the subtle look that like they always do, a little box here, but it's a timeless look. I think with Range Rovers you kind of see the evolution from the last models, and I think they've done a great job with the lines in it so far. It's been great,
man. And with Range Rover, we'll talk about a little bit later. The devil's in the detail. Like, this car has so many details on it. I mean, as far as exterior, you just look at it and it's hard to just talk about every little piece, but I'm gonna go ahead and fuck around and do it. You got the little grille here that just makes it look a little bit more menacing. Typically in like sports cars, they put a little small little indent vent that's right there, but you could tell a designer came in, put that there. They have the stainless steel kind of accent piece here. My buddy's gonna be getting a wrap here on the car soon, so it will be changing. Hopefully we can get him back on the channel after he finishes that up. Again, on the grill you have cameras along the bottom there for functional use, but clean, sophisticated look. When you pull down, when you drive down the road in this car, it's highly noticeable. And yeah, let's go to the rear, because you were talking about the taillights.
Well, the taillights is what sold me on it. If you go look at like the Range Rover Sports, which I looked at for a while, I didn't like the rear of it, aesthetically speaking. This, I think they knocked out the park with the way this curves in, the spoiler pops out. As you see in the taillights, the optics are gorgeous. Also the functioning, you know, like, I don't know if you want to open it.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
We'll open this up, and I love this tailgate part of it because I go camping a lot. I'll go out to the mountains a lot. And, you know, you have a little bench seat here, which, you know, can handle my weight fairly easy. I think that's a beautiful feature for an SUV like this that can go, you know, off-roading and whatnot. So yeah.
All right, and then 22-inch wheels.
22-inch wheels.
22-inch wheels.
So yeah.
All right, guys. Now we're about to jump in the car, go for the ride, and talk about the other 4 reasons why you need to upgrade to this car. All right, guys, welcome back to Roadrunners Reviews. Right now, we are in a 2016 Range Rover HSE. I'm with my buddy Vladimir here. This is his vehicle. He just recently purchased this car, and today we're gonna be talking about the top 5 reasons why you should upgrade to a Range Rover. For the second reason to buy a Range Rover, we're going to be talking about performance. Since you have been driving this car, what are some things that you noticed in it?
I love it because I've always had sports cars previously to this. Mostly I had like a Ford Raptor. I had these cars where whenever you get in them, you hit the gas, you want to go fast. This car is more like, I don't feel like I need to speed, but the power is there. The power is definitely there. You have 461 foot-pounds of torque, 510 horsepower coming from a supercharged 5.50 liter V8 engine, and it's fairly quick. I was shocked at the speed when you hit the gas for a car this size. It gets up 0 to 60 is under 5 seconds, which for a car that weighs over 5,000 pounds is pretty spectacular.
I gotta agree with that, man. Just like sitting in this car and driving it for the first time, stepping on the gas, there's no shortage of power. I recently test drove a Jeep Rubicon, the top of the line Jeep Rubicon that had absolutely no power at all. And this car is just swapping from one car to the other to this one. It's just like day and night of how different it is and how special of a product the Range Rover is.
Yeah, and the one thing there is, like when you're in regular mode, like we are right now, pretty much in comfort mode, you do get a little bit of a body roll. You know, when you hit the gas, you go into turns, you kind of feel that 5,100 pounds shift from left to right. But when you do shift into sport, this air suspension does stiffen up a bit.
Yeah.
And it does save you a bit from that body roll. But you can't expect not to be in a SUV the size and not get that kind of a body roll going 80, 90 miles an hour, especially with all the leather and all the luxuries you get. You're gonna expect that. But that is the only small blimp in it, I would say.
Yeah.
But I can't think of another car in the market in this weight that handles this way and has the luxury features that this has.
And Range Rover was really kind of the first SUV that kind of packaged everything in together for other luxury brands to follow in suit by putting the versatility by going off-road, the performance, and being able to have the stylish looks too as well. So people forget Range Rovers do perform and basically were founded off-road.
Yeah, well they were founded. I mean, their DNA comes from the desert races, from Baja, from going off-road into the mountains. You look at the Defenders of the 70s and the 60s. That's where their DNA is from. I mean, it evolved eventually into this luxury limo, if you will, where executives get driven around in.
Yeah.
But the DNA starts there, and there's different modes. I mean, you can go off-road in this thing. I mean, you can go sideways on it up and climb a couple rocks. Most people don't do that because of the price point of these cars now.
Yeah.
You don't want to really, you don't really want to ding a fender going off-road like you would on a Jeep. So, but the performance is there for a car of this size, and that's for sure.
Absolutely.
But what do you think about the braking?
The braking is actually really smooth. I like it, kind of not necessarily the braking, but when you slow down and you step on the brakes, I noticed the downshift in the transmission is like butter.
Yes.
It is. It's so smooth. It's shockingly, because how heavy the car is, you would think the momentum would just carry you. And a part of my mind when you do speed in the car is like, hey, you got to slow down sooner or later. Yeah. But when you step on the brakes, you almost get this confidence because you know that it just feels put together.
You don't feel no inertia or anything. It just kind of it's a seamless,
And for it being not the sport model to have that type of performance is definitely impressive. And that's another thing with Range Rovers. I recently actually admired the fact that the sport version is actually cheaper than the traditional Range Rover. And I can see why. Because the sport version is probably more hyper-focused on the sport, and you lose a lot of that luxury, which in a lot of other manufacturers like BMW, Mercedes, you buy the sport version, you're paying more. You're
paying a lot more. In some cases, 15-20% above the actual model.
Reason number 3, versatility.
And we kind of touched base on some of it, where you can go in here. Like I said, there's most of the time I drive this car, I'll catch myself for the first time in my life, out of every car I've ever owned, driving like under the speed limit. Like I've never done that before. I've always been the guy kind of speeding, trying to find the corner. On this car, you're just comfortable. You don't need it. You don't need it. You just enjoy yourself. But it has that other side of it where you take the cloak off, put it in sports mode, and off you go.
All right, we're gonna talk about the 4th reason why you should buy the Range Rover and upgrade is definitely the driving comfort.
Driving comfort. I mean, you feel it right now.
It is a pleasure to drive this car, and it's just so the way you sit, the visibility of the car, you can see all the way around you. You have everything at your fingertips here. As far as the suspension, I can't think of another company that has a better suspension package than the Range Rover altogether. It's like you basically get Rolls-Royce quality suspension in a SUV that's a quarter of the price.
A quarter of the, definitely. I mean, you can pick up these ones on the secondhand market for 20% of what you would go buy yourself a Rolls-Royce. And I've driven, Rolls-Royce, I've driven Bentleys, and it's not that far off. It's in the same, I would say it's right in the same class of it. And it's not just comfort for the driver. It's comfort for the passengers as well. Another thing is the materials in this car. When you put your hand down, you feel the leather, or every little knob, you feel a click. Those things make you feel like, oh, I know where my money is going. I know where my money is going. It's going into these materials. It's going into these little gadgets. And that's also a comfort when you're sitting in this cockpit here.
And as a daily driver, I gotta admit that this would be the perfect daily driver. Sitting in traffic, if you're not sitting in traffic, whatever the need is, you are comfortable in it. Our lives, we spend a lot of times in the car. Something like that is very important when you're looking to purchase something and keep it for multiple years. I know many people that buy exclusively Range Rovers and just upgrade them whenever they have the opportunity to, just because they know that Range Rover puts the detail into every aspect of the engineering. you know, especially when it comes to driving. It brings us into the next point, which is going to be the fifth reason, passenger comfort in the car.
Oh my goodness. Especially, like, let's say if you have clients or you're in any kind, or just you have a family. A lot of cars overlook that part, and they will make it very comfortable in the front seat for the driver. They'll give them all the goodies. But with this car, you have a, let's say the sunroof goes all the way back. The guys in the back seat or the gals will still have, you know, that access. You also have heated seats in the rear. So you have all the comfort of the driver being a passenger, which is very important for anybody that, like I said, has a family or has a business, or, you know, or has clients that they need to drive around. And this is why, primarily why this car is actually used by a lot of executives that have drivers, and they'll be in the back seat of these cars because they know that the back seat is just as comfortable as the front.
Right, yeah. Now that's the 5 reasons why you should really upgrade to a Range Rover. Kind of going off of, you know, the topic of the video, I kind of want to just kind of discuss a little bit more. What do you think of other car manufacturers starting to really step up their game in producing comparable cars? Like, you know, the Bentley came out with a car, Aston Martin's potentially coming out with an SUV, Jaguar is releasing an SUV, and so on and so forth. It's getting really competitive.
It's getting competitive in this market, but what I've noticed, a lot of those guys are, a lot of those cars are more comparable to what I would look at the Range Rover Sport to be.
Yeah.
Or they're more of a performance SUV. This is not that. Yeah. This is more comparable to maybe the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, or, you know, these bigger, but those cars are so out of the price range, they're unattainable. If you look at the BMW X5, right? You look at, or let's say look at the higher class BMW X7. BMW X7 is much bigger than this. It's not as, it's almost like it's just a full 7-row car. So there's not many cars in this that are comparable to the Range Rover HSC. Okay. Now to the Sport, yeah, you can compare that Jaguar, you can compare the X5, you can compare maybe a GL63. But as far as what Range Rover is doing, it's kind of hard to find a comparable. And if you look at the secondhand prices, I don't believe they're preposterous as some people may think they are.
A couple of the things I wanted to talk about with this car is there anything so far that you do not like about the car?
So, the 8 hours into having it, swear to God this happened. Everybody was telling me, beware the Range Rover and their electrical issues. 8 hours into having the car, I get in the morning, I'm going to get some coffee, and my driver's window won't open. Yeah. Small fix, something was wrong with the modular. I went to the dealership. The dealership, by the way, they were great about it, on the spot. I didn't pay anything with the warranty, and they took care of the entire thing. Oh, nice. But, you know, that does kind of scare you, thinking, is there going to be more issues down the road? You know, so I would recommend anybody buy these cars, definitely get a warranty. Absolutely. Because I mean, things do go, let's say the air suspension goes wrong, or some breaks. It's a lot of money if you don't have a warranty. And that is right away. That is the one thing I would say about this car that terrifies me, is that. Besides that, from the drivability, from the comfort standpoint, I love everything about it.
That's good, man. And I understand completely on warranty, because I had a BMW, which I did a video on where my motor seized. I'll plug in the video now. But that, fighting the warranty company, if I didn't have the warranty, in short, I'd have been out about 20 grand. And I'm sure you had a Porsche too, right?
I had a Porsche 911 Turbo, 997 model, when my camshafts went out. Oh. And I had to thank God I had a warranty. The bill would have been $24,800. Yeah. $24,800. You know, for some people, you might not have that sitting around the bank. Yeah. So next thing you know, your car is just sitting there, you can't drive it. Yeah. That is, anytime you get these high-end cars, you know, I always recommend people get a warranty, pay the extra $4,000 or $5,000 they're asking you for, and get that, because it's a peace of mind. Being able to go to sleep. Yeah, and you go to sleep, you know, knowing you wake up and your car's gonna be working, and you're not gonna be out of a car.
And you can enjoy the car and not have to worry about feathering the gas. Yes. You just want to be sensitive with it, and it's just a peace of mind. Yeah, I agree, man. That's well said. All right, guys, well, that's our time. I'm gonna say right now, thank you for watching the video. Thank you, Vlad, for being on the channel, man. Hopefully we can get him on the channel more often. This guy is a car enthusiast. I grew up with him, so hopefully we can have him stick around. A couple things as a head out: please subscribe, like the channel, comment below, let us know how we're doing. Like I said in other videos, I'm gonna be working my best to bring more and more content as frequently as I can, and we're gonna be having one hell of a year. So please subscribe and stay tuned. All right, y'all, peace.